people have kind of forgotten that and taken over this. So it's really overwhelming. It's amazing. It's been amazing. When I was 16 years old, I started doing films in the South. So I've already done about 15 films in the South. So I kind of did my struggle already bachpan mein hi. Not that I don't have to struggle right now. Every day is the struggle. He said I love you to me in front of the whole class, and I was so embarrassed. I was in tears, and I just slapped him because I was so embarrassed, and at that point of time, even talking to boys was a big deal. With Amit Sial, he is so experienced, and he's so good at what he does that he almost seems effortless. For that matter, when Jamtara was offered to me, I laughed because I never imagined myself as Dolly Sahu.
भाई जो लड़की अपने बोर्ड एग्जाम के 2 दिन पहले तैयारी करती है बाय डांसिंग इन द रेन एंड येट गेट्स 80% is now dancing with joy once again and for good reason. A new star is shining again, Aksha Pardasany या फिर काठमांडू कनेक्शन की शिवानी भटनागर. Shivani, first of all, congratulations, top work. Two back-to-back
Thank
hits
you.
on two OTT platforms. What's the day been like? Our show release हुआ है. What are the specific reactions you're getting from friends and industry walas and other people that you know in life?
I'm really, really overwhelmed, to be very honest, because I mean, the show. I mean, I've worked a lot in the South, but people who have watched me over here in the Hindi space have seen me in Jamtara, and like that was a very, very completely contrasting image from what I did in Kathmandu connection. So people are a bit like they have that impression of Dolly Sahu in their head when they look at me, and especially when you play such a strong female cop character, it kind of stays with you. And to kind of break, I was a bit afraid, getting into Shivani Bhatnagar because she's so different, and she's equally strong in her own ways. So it's really overwhelming because people have kind of forgotten that and taken over this. So it's really overwhelming. It's amazing. It's been amazing.
But you're right, the first thought was, "Arey, ye to Jamtara wale log hai." It's like a reunion, right? There's
Yeah,
you, there's
yeah.
Anil Sial, and there is Anshuman as well. Does that kind of
Yeah.
familiarity work to your advantage, or how does that dynamic work for you on set?
Initially, it was a disadvantage because because we have for me when I saw Amit sir. I mean, off screen, of course, our dynamic is wonderful because we know each other. But the first day that I went on set, and he had already completed 7 days of shoot, and when I saw him for the first time, he was in uniform. So I was just a bit taken aback because it was just like, this is Brajesh Bhan. And then suddenly, he just became Samarth Kaushik. But it was a nice and smooth transition. It helps when you have such wonderful actors because they're so brilliant at what they do. So, you kind of ease into the transition very well. And it was a bit of a difficult dynamic in the beginning, but eventually we got into character pretty easily.
मैंने सुना टेक्स के बीच में डांसिंग वांसिंग होती थी शो के सेट पे. Is that true?
So as I said, because we know each other since it's almost been 3-4 years now that we know each other, and we're all very, very comfortable around each other. So we used to have a blast, and most of us are actors who are a little bit on the spontaneous end of the spectrum, and we kind of just, the minute they say cut, we are back to our original characters. So yeah, there was a lot of fun on set. We used to dance, we used to have a lot of fun.
A lot of young actors now want to work with Sachin Pathak for one more reason कि ये डायरेक्टर जो है वो सेट पे पानी पूरी खिलाता है, वो भी हांगकांग वाली.
Yeah, in fact that was a lot of fun actually because even I personally, really, really love chaat. I can eat chaat every day. So even knowing that my character loved chaat, I think that was amazing for me.
Right. So Mukesh Chabra has done the casting for the show. Now talk me in detail. Talk me through the whole process of being called for multiple auditions and meetings and look tests. कितने चक्कर लगाने पड़े of अंधेरी के आराम नगर part 2 for Jamtara and for this role?
Strangely, मुझे कोई चक्कर नहीं काटने पड़े for both. I'll tell you why. Reason being that I started my career at 5 years old. Not many people know that. I started doing commercials at the age of 5, and then When I was 16 years old, I started doing films in the South. So I've already done about 15 films in the South. So I kind of did my struggle already, bachpan mein hi. Not that I don't have to struggle right now. Every day is a struggle. But the advantage with Jamtara was that the director knows me since I was 8 years old. So he kind of, he had a very clear picture of who he wanted, as Dolly, and that's how I got Jamtara. And simultaneously, with the Kathmandu connection, sir, Sachin sir had seen Jamtara, and even Mukesh Chabra, his team had seen Jamtara, and then they just thought it's a perfect fit. So there was no audition, and there was no that sort of thing with this.
Wow, I was wondering कि बॉम्बे की लड़की, बॉम्बे स्कॉटिश स्कूल की लड़की, how does a girl from that setting reach South cinema? I was intrigued by that whole transition from Bombay to South.
I mean, I was intrigued too because that was never part of the plan. It was, something that I always knew that I wanted to act, and that's the reason I was doing ads since I was 5. But I always knew that I wanted to be in, like, a long format films, or anything, series or whatever. But I didn't know that it would come so early. I didn't plan on it. There was a director in the South who is a very, very big director. He's a national award winning director, and he happened to watch one of my commercials, and he came down to Bombay looking for me. So, so it was an opportunity that kind of landed in my lap, and I just grabbed it. That was never part of the plan. But then after that, there was no looking back. It was just like do or die. So I did.
But if you started acting at 5 or doing commercials at 5, do you have a good enough memory to remember पहला shot क्या था, पहला commercial क्या था, क्या किया था set पे जाके? Do you remember?
पहला कमर्शियल क्या था तो पता है मुझे, बट क्या किया था, and those experiences I think you just forget over time. There are a few bits and pieces of memories around, but I know that for me, people, children always went out and played and they did their thing. For me, it was always going on set was always like my entertainment and my enjoyment. That was my version of living my childhood. So I've also done a couple of films when I was a kid, even though I couldn't do, like, big roles, but I did a couple of films. Like I was in Devdas in a small little bit. And so I always wanted to do this. I always knew that this is something that I wanted to do, and I always enjoyed being on set, and I was always the ladli everywhere I went. So I've always enjoyed it.
So you've had those baby ko juice do kind of moments as a younger actor, like as a child actor. No tantrums.
No tantrums. I am not that kind of. I come from a very simple family, and I don't have those kind of hang-ups.
देखो इस शो में ना आई डोंट वांट टू रिवील मच अबाउट द शो आई लेट पीपल डिस्कवर इट बट थोड़ी सी स्टॉकिंग होती है आपके कैरेक्टर की हैव यू हैड एनी सच अनप्लेजेंट एक्सपीरियंसेस इन योर लाइफ स्कूल के दिनों में ऐसा कोई था लड़का जो पोएट्री लिखता था आपके लिए
नहीं स्कूल के दिनों में तो नहीं था एक लड़का था जो मतलब बचपन में तो ऐसा था ना कि वी वर इन अ कोएड स्कूल सो देयर वाज ऑलवेज दिस एज where even talking to boys was a big thing. Like we used to be like, oh my god, like we can't talk to boys, but then slowly we graduated to becoming friends, and then having crushes and all of that. So there was this boy who he kind of embarrassed me in front of the whole class. वो hero बनने गया, and in the 6th standard he got me in front of the entire class, and he said I love you to me in front of the whole class, and I was so embarrassed. I was in tears, and I just slapped him because I was so embarrassed, and at that point of time, even talking to boys was a big deal. Stalking. There was an experience with me when I was in college. There was this boy who, on Friendship Day, you end up giving friendship bands to random people. But this guy, he gave me a friendship band, and he would stand outside my class every day. So after that, I kind of got freaked out. And luckily, my brother was in the same college, so I sent my brother to kind of sort the issue out.
अगर अगली बार भाई बिजी हो बोल रहा है मैं डीसीपी समर्थ को बता दूंगी काम हो जाएगा फिर सनी को फोन करूंगा
Exactly.
कुछ ऐसा हुआ है let me get a sense of how you approach your craft. You are a young actor with a lot of experience. Are you the kind of actor who does a lot of serious prep के स्क्रिप्ट में घुसना और 4 दिन अलग एक कमरे में पड़े रहना, or are you more let's play it by the ear, let's go by instinct?
To be very honest, I think every project demands a different kind of prep. And, some projects are a breeze where, you don't really you don't really need to do too much prep, and over prep kind of spoils the whole thing. But there are projects like Kathmandu Connection that require a little bit, at least a little bit, and I don't believe in over prep, because I think then you lose your spontaneity a little bit, and you don't know how the other actors are going to react to what you've prepared. So I just believe in becoming the character, but then playing it spontaneously. So I want to be in the mindset of Shivani Bhatnagar, and I want to live her life, but I want to play her spontaneously. I want to feel her. I want to give her that space to kind of also, just feel the moment and feel the moments that are going on, or the circumstances that are taking place in her life. So yeah, I like to become her and then play her spontaneously.
So one big part of this character, and that's something that, of course, people would have figured in the trailer, is that you have to conceal a few things. Are you good at keeping things to yourself? Are you good at being poker faced and hiding things, keeping secrets?
No, I don't think so. I am. I can. Yeah, I am very loyal, and I can keep. I can keep a few secrets, but other than that, I'm a very expressive person. Like whatever I'm feeling, I kind of, it just shows on my face. So I don't think I can keep a secret for that long. No.
So you've seen a really long trajectory of being on screen, on TV, now on OTT. Give me a sense of how your Pardasani family responds or reacts to fame. If someone comes to you and asks for a selfie, or things like that. Those moments, how does family react?
It's a bit overwhelming for them, and it's also kind of difficult for them to accept, because nobody in my family, no one, not a single person is from the entertainment industry, and everybody is like we're like a family of Sindhis where like everybody's into business, and so it's like initially, with the immediate family, they almost get a little embarrassed also, maybe, and I think, and somewhere they feel a bit proud also. It's a mixed bag, I think you can't really, they feel proud, at the same time they feel like, okay, I don't know how to explain this, it's just a very, it's just somewhere in the middle, where they feel a bit embarrassed, and where they feel sometimes a little bit of, their privacy is a bit invaded at times, but then they understand that it's a part of who I am, and it's a part of who what I am and what I do, and but they also feel very proud. I know that much.
As I said at the start, it's a bit of a Jamtara reunion. So give me a sense of how Amit and Anshuman are like to act with, because hum to dur se dekhte hain. That's a very different view. But you are there in that moment with them, emoting, reacting to cues. What's that like, and what are the specific qualities about these two actors?
With Amit Sial, he is so experienced, and he's so good at what he does, that he almost seems effortless, and it kind of puts a little pressure on you. Like for me, every time I go on set, when it's Amit Sial, I'm a little bit like, I feel like I need to be a lot more prepared, and I feel like I need to be a lot more out there, and I need to really know what I'm doing, because he's so effortless. It just feels like, he's just gone through the script, and he's just come and like, just done his thing. It feels that good. But, at the same time, having an actor like that in front of you is kind of very, very motivating, and it kind of pushes you to give your best. So apart from that, he's because I know him since so many years, and, we have a wonderful, wonderful working rapport, and otherwise also. He's just very, very giving. He's very, very giving as an actor, and he's extremely accepting of what you have to bring on the table. So I think that is a wonderful quality, and he's so fine at his art, and he's so amazing. And when it comes to Anshuman, I think that we both are so comfortable with each other. Like we discuss not only about work, we have a great friendship. So we discuss things about our career, we discuss things about we discuss random things. So I have this wonderful rapport with him, where we can actually tell each other that, listen, you can do better than this. So that kind of really helps when you have an actor who can tell you that, listen, you suck, you need to do better than this, you can definitely do, like, you should try this and you should try that. So it's amazing to have that kind of dynamic with your co-actors, when you have that comfort to kind of just tell each other that, you can do better than this. So yeah, it's wonderful to work with both of them.
I also read somewhere that you're a voracious reader, and I'm sure that you have a fairly evolved worldview. Given that the world is changing around us, what are the kind of characters, what are the kind of women that you'd like to play in the next 20, 30, 40 years?
I think now's a great time, for women to come out there. And initially it was all about women being, just a prop all around, or just adding glamour or beauty to something. And there is no doubt in the fact that even I have been part of films in the South, where it's just where a female character has just been reduced to just adding glamour to a film or a project. But now with platforms like the OTT platforms, it's just changing. And I think it's because of the exposure to world cinema, and accepting the fact that women can be protagonists as well. So it's a beautiful time, and I don't want to limit myself by saying that I want to do just this. And like when Jamtara was offered to me, I never dreamt that I could do something like that. In fact, for that matter, when Jamtara was offered to me, I laughed because I never imagined myself as Dolly Sahu. But and then when it came to Shivani Bhatnagar, again I was surprised because from somebody to see me in Jamtara and then want me to do Shivani, it takes a lot of conviction for a director to trust you like that. So yeah, I don't want to keep I don't want to keep myself limited. I want to explore all kind of things. So not anything particular, but I would love to explore a lot of strong women on screen.
Is there no part in the book that you've read that you wish came to life on celluloid or on OTT and that you could play?
Oh yeah, there are so many. Yeah. There is a classic Gone with the Wind. I would love to play Scarlett.
Sachin Pardasany
Yeah,
copy भेज रहा हूँ.
yeah. There is so much. There's just so much. I'm a huge fan of Cecilia Hearn's books, and there are so many stories. The time of my life, I wish I could recreate that character on screen. I wish that could come out in a series because it's a beautiful book. So there are so many things, I just, and now with so many options, I think people and writers are kind of opening up, and I just hope we get those opportunities now.
Right. Finally, since it's a lovely 6-part series, fairly gripping as well, clearly we won't give out any spoilers. But if you had to pick one scene that you think is an absolute winner for you, a scene that you can talk about.
Hmm.
Your
I
own scene.
can't really talk. I can't really talk about that scene, but I can share my experience because the end, the climax, is a bit of a monologue that I had to, prepare. And even though I was very well aware that the monologue is going to come only. It's going to come on montages, and I knew that it's going to reveal a story in the story. I knew that I wanted to do the monologue in one take, and I think that for me is a personal achievement because even though I knew that it's not going to come across like a monologue on screen, I wanted to do it for myself, and I got. I kind of surprised myself with that because I didn't want to take the emotion midway. So I performed that monologue, and I think that for me is a personal highlight or a personal victory. So I just hope that when people watch it, even in the tone, the way I'm speaking or the way I'm talking about it, I just wish that comes across, and it's just very special to me.
यार जब थिएटर में फिल्में आती ना तो एक्टर्स प्रीमियर होता है एक्टर्स जाते हैं बिकम्स अ फुल मीडिया इवेंट बट ऑन ओटीटी आई
Yeah.
ऑलवेज वंडर्ड कि एक्टर्स अपने रूम में अकेले बैठ के देखते हैं फैमिली के साथ व्यूइंग होती है हाउ डज इट वर्क हैव यू सीन इट विद द फैमिली और डिड यू वॉच इट अलोन बैठ के
To be very honest, I am very scared to watch anything that I do because I'm super critical of everything that I do, and I never like my performances, never ever. Whether it is Jamtara, whether it is Kathmandu Connection, I always feel like, oh, why? I should have done better. I could have done better. So I get very scared to watch anything. So I watch everything alone so that I can criticize myself in private and not tell anybody.
नहीं नहीं ये वाला देख सकते हो फैमिली के साथ एंड फॉर ऑल दोस वाचिंग दिस इंटरव्यू गो वॉच इट इट्स कॉल्ड काठमांडू कनेक्शन इट्स आउट ऑन सोनी लिव 6 एपिसोड है मजा आएगा हैव फन